what you want, but this is what you need. Yeah. This ain't what you want, but this is what you need. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
I think a little bit of it was created in that moment, but I think also it had been cultivated over the years. And so, just to explain my train of thought, so when we tell a cat, all of us play ball, right? And come from that background. And so when you tell a cat every single day, all right, man, you gotta be dedicated. You gotta be committed. You gotta work hard. You talk to young cats, kids. We got kids. And you tell them and you stress the importance of, hey, man, show up on time, right? Do what you gotta do, right? Like handle your business a certain way. And cats don't really see the value in it, right? Cats go, yeah, it's cute. Like, that sounds good. Yeah, I hear you. Why me? Like, I ain't got to do that. Cats say all type of stuff. Cats got all type of response. I'm paid already. Cats got all type of responses, right? Until something real happens, like a real situation, to where it don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter what type of car you got. It don't matter square footage of your house. Like a real deal situation. Like when a cat's wife gets sick, when your children get sick, when you're in the emergency room with your family, right? Don't none of that other stuff matter, right? But the work that you put in every single day, the mindset that you cultivate every single day, the spirit that you cultivate every single day, the work ethic, the dedication, the commitment, that's you, right? That's your essence. That's your ethos. That's who you are, right? Like I'm ink. Like I believe it with every ounce of the word when I tell a cat, my arm and my hand paralyzed, my heart isn't. It isn't. Right. Like my arm and my hand is paralyzed, my mentality, it isn't. My dedication, my commitment level isn't. And so the next day for me was, all right, bro, regular scheduled programming. Let's rock, right? Because I didn't have anything to go back to.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm gonna go back to a pallet? I done came all this way to go back to the floor at my grandma's house? So they can say, hey, good run, bro. You went farther than anybody that's ever went in our family. Come back to the trap. Nah, I'm gonna finish what I started. I'm gonna go on and get my degree. I'm gonna show my little cousins when we encounter adversity and opposition, you keep it pushing. A lot of people done sacrifice for you to be in this moment. That's why it's hard for me to understand when a cat get in a certain situation and they trick it off. Yeah. That's hard for me. Like I tell cats all the time, the hardest part of my injury wasn't my injury. It wasn't. The hardest part of my injury was walking into a facility and seeing cats take it for granted every single day.
Right.
The Casuals, man, back at you tonight. Opening up with that clip, man. Inky Johnson, man. Tonight's episode. What's going on, Rob Vic, man? Way to start the show off tonight, man.
Way to start the show, bro. Man, wait, and you know what? I'm gonna save my thoughts. I was gonna try to go in. I'm gonna save them on that video, man. I'm good, brother. I'm good. How about you, man? How your week, man, bro?
Man, it's been going good, man. It's been going real good. Glad to be here. Glad that we get another opportunity to do the show, man. And tonight's episode is gonna be about the heart, man. We're gonna talk about the heart. What it takes, man, to overcome those difficult situations in life, particularly in sports, and then as things arise in your life, man. You kind of heard it in that clip, man. Famous speaker Inky Johnson. If you don't know his story, man, look him up. He's got a powerful testimony of some things that happened to him. When he was back in 2006 when he was playing college football, and where he is today, man. The brother's awesome, man. Just look him up, check him out. Highly recommend that you listen to him speak. So Rob, man, tonight, man, the heart condition, man. Let's jump into it 2 feet deep, man. You know what I'm saying? 2 feet deep.
Let's get it. Let's go.
Because we see a lot of things going on in the sporting world, in particular. We know the NBA playoffs are going on. We know we've heard here recently how people talking about LeBron quitting on his team, and that Darvin Ham gets fired, and you gotta be tough mentally and in the heart, right? The heart's gotta be strong enough to when those things happen, when the world turns against you, because the world will set you up on that podium, right, on that platform. But then as soon as they set you up, they're quick to turn on you, man. And then what do you do? What do you do when you get down, man? What do you do?
Absolutely. No, that's good right there, man. And that's what. So it's interesting to think about. As you brought up Darvin Ham, and how he lost his job.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what makes it interesting is that, and I don't have the specific his specific record in front of me.
Check.
But
I'll take it.
last year, his first year, the Lakers went to the Western Conference
Mm-hmm.
Finals. Um, and this year they made the playoffs. Got put out in the first round, but both years they had winning records, and this year
Mm-hmm.
their record was even better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, but they lost to the same team. It's like, man, so he lost his job because he ran into the Nuggets.
Right.
Like, who knows what would happen? You know what I mean? Like, if they finished differently, if they would have had an opportunity. But you know what? To be honest, bro, I don't think anything less than a championship would have
It's the
had
Lakers,
him keep
man.
his job. It's the
Right.
Lakers.
Right.
It's the Lakers,
The
man.
Lakers.
It's the
The
Lakers,
Mystique.
and that's a tough seat when you're coaching LeBron James, bro. Like, that's a bro. As soon as you sign your contract, you on a hot seat.
Right.
Like, you'll see, man. You know how you get in your car and you like. I know all cars don't have it, but some of the newer cars have the little seat warmers, and you
Yeah,
get
the
in the
heater seat.
car.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You turn on if it's cold, you turn on the seat warmer. Man, as soon as they sign a contract, bro, the seat warmers is turned on, dog. Like,
Man.
you better, yeah. If anything less than a championship is uncivilized, and you got about a good year or two to get it right, or else you up out of there. So feel bad for Darvin Ham, man, but hopefully the brother land on his feet somewhere. I'm sure he will. He getting paid, so hey,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Is it fair though? Is it fair to, because you hear all the criticism of LeBron? Is it fair to say that he's a coach killer?
Mm,
Is it fair to say that? I mean, you know, yeah, I listened to a clip today, man, where Michael Jordan was, and I don't know when it was, but he was talking about LeBron. He said LeBron is, if he's not the best player, he's one of the best, or he is the best player in the world currently, right? And he said it's not fair to compare the eras because they're totally different,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
But it seems to be here lately, Rob, that he has a trend of not keeping a coach longer than 2 seasons since he's been in. Well, even before LA, really, if you think about it.
Right.
So is it
Right.
fair? Is it fair? Because this is a guy that's got to be mentally and tough and has his heart in the right condition, right, to
Right.
withstand uh, the things that he is going through. Although he's the face, quote unquote, of the NBA, right?
Right.
But he
Right.
gets a lot of flack from a lot of people.
Man, yeah, it's interesting, man. I'm admittedly, I wouldn't say I'm a LeBron hater, but I do. I'm more neutral on him more so than anything.
Mhm.
I'm not like a super fan either. I try to be as fair as I possibly can. I think he definitely is top three, but he would be three for me
Mhm.
personally. I would go
Mhm.
MJ, I would go Kobe, I would go Bron, but you can put them in whatever order you want. It's hard for me to make an argument over MJ. You can make an argument over Kobe. Kobe's just my personal favorite, but I can
Yeah.
understand the argument. But as far as the coach killer thing, I mean, it's just,
It's hard. It's hard, ain't
maybe he's. I don't know if he's a coach killer, but I don't know what the level next to under killer would be. Maybe he's a he a coach annihilator. He's a maybe it's a tough it's tough, bro. It's tough, man, because the expectations are just super high, and
it? It is. It is.
to be honest, Bron is Teflon. If we're just keep it real, he Teflon. It ain't
Mhm.
gonna be his fault if they lose. And I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just saying, but one thing
Right.
we do
Right.
know is that it's not gonna be on him.
Right.
And so it's gonna be somebody. Somebody got to catch the ball, and 9 times out of 10,
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be the
be
coach.
the third best player on the team, i.e., D'Angelo Russell, or it's
Yeah.
gonna be the coach. And even the second best player is gonna get some flack depending on how they play, but it's not gonna be on him. But in all fairness to him, I mean, he is great at what he does. He's 39 years old, still doing the things that he's doing, and
Yeah.
still
No
the
doubt.
face of
No
the
doubt.
league.
Yeah.
Although your boy Ant-Man
I was about to bring it
is
up, man. man,
is like, hey, he coming.
he
He
cold, man.
coming, bro.
He's cold.
Pause. But he's coming. He's coming.
Man,
He's
he's
coming, man,
I
for sure.
watched I watched a little bit of the game last night, and man, he was I mean, he was he broke Reggie Jackson's ankles and then pointed at him.
And point out,
Right. I was like, man, man, and Big Anthony Tyler, he said, well, he started talking like that, man. We finna start balling because we know he's in on his game. And
right,
so, yeah, man, I'm gonna touch on something real quick, and then we'll keep it moving. But you
for
mentioned,
sure.
the expectations of
Mhm.
coaching LeBron. I think that's the problem, man. When you have a talented person like that, the superstar that he is, the talent that he's got, you're expected to win. And when you
Right,
don't win, they like, well, why don't you win? You got arguably the best player in the game right now on the team,
right,
and you're
right.
not winning. So,
Uh,
so I mean, that makes a lot of sense, though. You think about it. The expectations of the ownership, they're like, hey, we've got the best guy in the league, still playing
mhm.
at a high level at this age. We should be winning, and we put pieces around him to win. And we've seen those pieces in the last few teams he's played with, right? Every year though, every year pretty much. And so,
Right.
but yeah, man, I think to your point though, that's a great observation. And so, man, let's delve into something else because we talked about the draft a few episodes
Mm,
ago, and we
yeah,
we wanted we started mentioning the undrafted free agents, man. And I'm gonna
yeah.
touch on this young man real quick. You kind of tell me what you think. And this is Dylan
Mhm.
Johnson, man. He played running back for the Washington Huskies. And
He's
here's what he
cold
said
too.
after he didn't get drafted. Now he battled through some injuries
Yeah.
when he was in college, played when he was hurt a lot, and so he didn't get drafted. He went as an undrafted free agent. And he signed with the Tennessee Titans. But this is what he said, man. After he signed, he says, "Today was the last day I let myself cry. My mind couldn't process what happened or what I did wrong. I worked my whole life to hear my name called, and for the last 4 years, I risked my body, mind for this game just to be disrespected. I will never fall short again. Every team that passed on me, go feel me. With that being said, let's work Titans." Man,
Mm,
Rob, you think about that,
mm.
man. Heartfelt, man. Heart, right? Gotta have
From the
heart.
from the heart, I love it. I love that message from that young man. I love it because he's letting you know, like, y'all made a mistake and you're gonna feel me.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna feel me, and I hope for him that he lives up to that. I hope that his motivation, and these are not just words, and that he actually gets in the training camp, balls out, gets in the preseason, balls out, and gets an opportunity to see all the teams. Which Titans, if we are Titans one of them too, so he gonna have to.
Right.
We gonna have to fill him first, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we in that category. But every other team, hopefully, I hope he has that the opportunity. But I love the mindset. It's when you get knocked down, when you feel like you've been disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
It just brings out a different animal, right? You
Right.
tell somebody that you constantly patting somebody on the back, and it could get to their head. But if you tell somebody you can't do something with the right attitude, that gets to your heart, which then
That's right.
affects your mind.
That's
And
right.
then that'll just bring out a whole different animal inside of you. So I love it, brother. I love it. What about you?
It goes back to what we opened up with the show, man. The clip from Inky Johnson. He said, he had a traumatic injury. He couldn't go back to the pallet, right? He didn't want to go
Yeah.
back to the pallet. And they be like, "Oh, good
Hmm.
job, man. You almost made it out." He had it in his heart to keep pressing forward, man, to get his degree and to do those things to make his mom proud, right? He wanted to show everybody from where he was from that you can still
Yeah.
make despite of the adversity that you face. You gotta be willing to keep your gotta be strong in your heart, man. You gotta have that heart condition. You gotta be you got to keep pressing forward, man, even when you go through things that are traumatic in life. And that was a traumatic injury that he suffered,
Right.
man. I've never heard his story about his injury. I knew he had gotten injured, and it was really dramatic. And just to hear, thinking about it, I was like, man, that's just crazy, just to lose. And and if you look at further on in the clip, he talks about how now he thinks it's a blessing, right? He thinks it's a blessing to be
Right.
able to be in that condition. So, man, yeah, got that heart, man. That heart is really Really, really important, man. So let's look
Mhm.
at let's play another clip of another young
Okay.
man that faced a lot of adversity in college, man, and let's listen to what he has to say.
Mhm.
You had a beautiful piece in the Players Tribune. Love to see that. It was an open letter to NFL GMs. Tell me, who, to be honest with me, who came up with the EKG line?
Yeah, man, it was a like an effort by me and my team. You know, like obviously, you know, just thinking about all the things that I've been through and what helped me become the person, the player I am today. You know, I felt like me personally, it wasn't the EKG line. It was like, dang, I wanted to speak about my heart, but I didn't know how to put it in words like that. You know, but I have a great team behind me to help me put it in words, and I was like, man, that's perfect. You know, so it's like it was a joint effort. You know, I'm not gonna take all the credit for it, but it definitely speaks for me. So shout out to my team.
Shout out to your agent Reggie, sounds like.
So Rob, man, Rob. Did you catch what that quote was, man? He said
Man,
the
I
EKG. The
read it.
EKG
Can you
would
can you read it for us? Can you read it for us, or is it any way we can bring it back so the people can really feel it?
Yeah, I will bring it back, man. He said the EKG, bro. The EKG. I didn't even catch it the first time. But listen to this. Listen to this.
Like
Can you make it bigger
effort
so
by
we can
me and
see
my
it?
team. You know.
There we go. Truth is, it's an EKG that will tell you everything you need to know about me.
The
Come on, son.
EKG
Woo!
will tell you
Yes, sir.
everything you need to know about me. Man.
I love it. That's a bar. That's a
That's a bar.
bar.
That's a bar. You know, and this young man signed to play with University of Tennessee in the beginning, had his scholarship taken away from him. Obstacle number one, he goes to Indiana. He has an injury every single year, season ended injuries,
Wow.
shoulder, ACL twice,
Mm.
4 years. Graduates from Indiana, transfers to Washington. And now look at him. Drafted in the first round of NFL draft. You talking about
Number
heart. He
8.
said the EKG.
He said an EKG. He said not no Wonderlick, not no shuttle run, not no
Right,
40, not no
right.
no vertical. He said
Nothing.
all you need to know is the EKG test will tell you all you need to know. I'm like, brother, the Falcon. I almost said the Hawks. The Falcons, y'all got y'all one, man. Y'all got y'all one. Y'all got y'all one. It's weird that you signed Kirk Cousins and gave him $100 million, but you got
Man.
you one. You
Right,
got you one. I
right,
believe in that brother, man. I'm rooting for him. Hopefully me and Ed get to pull up to some of the games because
right.
I'm rooting for that brother. I'm rooting for him for sure, man. That is the attitude that we all should have, man. Like
Man.
when life just when you get hurt, a lot of us get hurt, and maybe not a physical injury, but
Right,
we get hurt like in life just by different things, mentally, emotionally. We get scars. We might tear an emotional ACL or MCL. You know what I'm saying? And now your faith is listed. You know,
right,
you on
right.
IR. Your faith is on IR. You feel what I'm saying? Your attitude is on IR, meaning injured reserve, meaning that you
Mhm.
you ain't even in the game because you on the sideline because you so hurt.
Right,
But you don't stop there, bro. Like you gotta keep pushing, bro. You gotta keep pushing and going throughout your life and your journey, and don't stay on the sideline just because you there. Don't mean you gotta stay there on that
right.
sideline, but you work to get back to doing what it is that you're doing, man, by keeping your faith in God. And the beautiful thing about what we're doing, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but
No, go ahead.
with
Go
with
ahead.
with God, all things are possible, and you
Right.
really don't have to like this Michael Penix had to really like do physical work to get back, to
Mhm,
shake back, to get to this
mhm,
point. A whole lot of work. He had to show a ton of heart. For
mhm,
us, even though we're not athletes, and the battle isn't physical, the battle is mental,
mhm.
and Christ did all the work. All
He
you
did
got
all
to
the
do
work.
is just have faith. He
Have
already did
faith.
all the work. We just got to have faith, man.
Gotta have
Come on.
faith. Man, you know, the Bible speaks a lot about the heart. The heart is
Does it?
important to God, man. Yeah, man, it's important to God.
Who
We
would have
learn that
known?
we learn that out of the heart, the man speak, the abundance of the mouth speak. So whatever you're taking in, it's what's gonna be coming out, right? You know,
Yeah.
we learn that you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. You're supposed to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. The heart, man, it's
Hmm.
a heart condition. So whatever you're taking in, that's what you're gonna be putting out. And then when you get into those situations, like you were mentioning, man, when we get down, we have to have the faith to believe that Jesus already won the victory.
Come
We
on,
shouldn't worry,
man.
man. We shouldn't be caught up in those things. Now, I love what Inky Johnson said. I had to go back to it again. He could
Yeah.
have just quit. He could have
He
just
could
quit,
have
man.
quit.
His
He could have quit.
dream was done. He said it took him
Ooh.
2 years. He said it took him 2 years to get out of that mentality that he was going. He said because he said they told me it was going to take me 2 years to fully come back, and I was going to come back at the best baller. I was going to come back.
Yeah.
But after those
Yeah.
2 years, man, he was like, "No, I can't stay there. I got to keep
Yeah.
grinding, right? Got to
Yeah.
keep grinding." God is prepared us, man. He's gonna give us what we need to get through that storm, right? Got to get our heart right, man. We got to get our heart right with the Lord, man.
Mm.
That's
Come
the
on, man.
because it's
Come
it's
on.
it's the reason why Scripture talks about the heart. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life." It's the
Mm.
heart, man. That's what it's about.
Mm.
The heart, man.
Mm.
The heart, man.
Mm.
Come on,
Man.
Rob. Come on,
Hey,
man.
listen, let's go. Let's go. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 3,
Yes,
familiar
sir.
passage of scripture.
Yes, sir. Go
Proverbs
ahead.
chapter 3.
Yep.
What is verse oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, yeah,
5.
yeah,
You
yeah,
got
yeah.
it. You got
Verse
it.
5. Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yeah, yeah, 3 through 5. Yeah, where it
Mhm.
says I got the Bible. I'm using a different Bible today, so I got a little mixed up. Where verse 5 says, trust in the Lord with all of your what? Heart,
Heart. That's
right?
right. That's
Trust in
right.
the Lord with all your heart. And then it says, and lean not to your own understanding.
That's right.
Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding, because how we understand our situation is
Right.
when we're injured, then we're broken, then we're hurt, then we're down, and we're out the game. But
Right.
God is saying, if you trust in me with
Hmm.
all your heart and don't lean on your understanding, but you lean on the rock, you lean
Right.
on the solid rock, the
Right.
cornerstone that is Jesus Christ. If you lean on him, guess what? He not only will he heal you, but then he'll put you back into the game that the victory has already been given for.
I already been given. That's right.
You
That's
all we gotta do is be in the game. He just said, just get off the sideline and get in the game. And you are going to get the victory because I've already done all the work. You just
already
gotta
done
trust
all
me.
the work.
You just
That's
gotta
right.
trust me. You know how oh come on. You know how like with some athletes, how they like come off an injury and it's
Hmm.
like they gotta trust the fact that their their knee or their
Right.
whatever they injured, they have to trust that injury or that it has recovered. They have to
That's right.
trust in it, right?
That's
So
right.
they,
That's right.
they like make a cut and it's like, oh man, or they make a jump and it's like, okay, all right, and they start having to gain trust. But a lot of what athletes have to go through to shake back and get back to who they were is trusting that they are actually healed from the injury.
Right. Right.
As
That's right.
followers of Jesus Christ, we have to trust in the Lord with all of our heart and
All of it.
lean not to our understanding, trusting that He has healed us
Right.
from the injury that we have received. Sometimes some injuries are self-inflicted. Sometimes it's stuff that we do to ourselves. Sometimes it
Hmm.
might be something that somebody else did, but we have to trust that that injury has been healed and we
Right.
can get back out there and perform to the capability in which he gives us, because he is the one that we have to have our focus on. He is
That's
the
right.
one that has given all our gifts and talents. And as long as we trust him, bro, we're gonna be straight. We're
We're
gonna
gonna
be
be
we be
straight.
good. Come
Man, we're
on,
gonna be
man.
straight. And God looks at the heart, man. And one scripture I really love to look at is, when the Lord told Samuel to go down there and look at Jesse's boys and say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna anoint me one of his sons for king, right?" And so Jesse brought all them in. He said, "This one's it's got to be the one." No,
Yeah,
no, they all big and handsome and muscular and then so verse 7 of that 1 Samuel 16 says, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at the appearance at his physical stature, but because I have refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart.
Mhm.
That's how
Woo, come
important
on.
the heart is, man. The heart, I just can't stress it enough, man. Your heart is your livelihood. Think about it. You can't live without your heart, right?
Mm-mm.
So it's the life. It
Mm-mm.
pumps your blood from your head to your toes. It's got to work so your body can function, and it's an important organ to in your life. But man, God is so focused on our heart conditions. If we can just get our heart right, man, the world
Mm.
wouldn't even be in the position that it's in. But
Come
I mean,
on.
I love the clips that we played tonight, man, because it really hits home. These guys, not even similar, well, similar experience, right?
Right,
Potential
right.
football players, or
Injuries.
injuries. You had one that didn't make it. You had one that had a lot of injuries that made it and got drafted
Yeah.
in the first round, got his name called. And then you had one that was an undrafted free agent. I didn't even catch it. Thank you, Lord, for that. But you had three situations, all different levels, different results. But it all comes down to that heart, man. It all comes down
Woo,
to
come
that heart.
on.
And so, man, yeah, man, I just the heart, man, it's powerful. It's so powerful when you think about it, man. It's the heart, the tongue, those two things right there. That's a whole nother show, right? About the
Man, I
tongue.
know the
So,
tongue. Yeah, boy, we got to come back to that one. That's a good one, dog. Man, so check this out right here.
uh,
Psalm chapter 51, verse 10.
yeah, come
It's
on with it.
and this is David speaking. I'm
Yes, sir.
or is this David? I think it's David
Yeah,
speaking.
it is.
Yeah,
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 it
yeah,
is.
David
Yep.
speaking. When he says, "Create me a clean heart."
Mm-hmm.
He's like create in me a clean heart, oh God. And
Mm-hmm.
and so David is crying out to God for a clean heart to be created in him,
Right.
and renew a steadfast spirit within me. He's crying out to God, and obviously that is a posture that we all should take on, of crying out to the Lord to create in us a clean heart. And
Mm-hmm.
in the same way that cardio will help clean up your heart,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By whether you doing hit exercises, whether you on a treadmill, just walking, whatever you do to get the heart pumping, that will create in you a
Right.
clean heart, a
Right.
stronger heart to be able
Mm-hmm.
to just go throughout life. You don't want to have a weak heart. You want your heart to be strong, so you can live as long as you possibly can. and
Right.
and so when you put these things in a place, physical activity, eating right, you are creating a clean heart.
Right.
And from a spiritual perspective, we also got to do that same kind of stuff. It's just reversing it on the spiritual side. You want a clean heart, you ask God for a clean heart, to create in me a clean heart. You can get a clean heart by eating the right meals in the
Mm-hmm.
scriptures, right?
Right.
You are eating it. He said, "Oh, taste and see that the
Oh,
Lord is
taste and
good,"
see.
right?
That's
You
right. That's
gotta
right.
eat it. You gotta consume the scriptures. You gotta be praying. You gotta do your devotions. All those things will allow for God to create a clean heart. You're doing your spiritual cardio to
Mm-hmm.
help your heart when you do these things to get closer to the Father. Because the closer you get to Him, man, your heart changes. It's like the further you get
Man.
away, the
Right.
colder that your heart is. The further you are from the sun, man, it's like you're cold. It's like astrology, like
Mm-hmm.
the planets that are closer to the sun,
Mm-hmm.
right? They it's warmer. The ones that are
Mm-hmm.
farther away is colder. The closer you are to the sun, the
Mm-hmm.
warmer that your heart is. The cleaner your heart is, the better your heart is. The farther you are away from, the colder that your heart is, right? And
Right.
so
Right.
we need to get as close to God as possible, getting in that spiritual cardio as much as possible, bro.
Spiritual cardio. Let me ask you something, bro, because you just brought up, man, something very interesting. So you went to Psalms 51, man, and I love it. I love it. And this was that this was God's boy, right? This was David,
Yeah.
right? The chosen
Mhm.
man after his own heart, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
in that particular psalm, his heart, he let her lead him astray
yeah,
before he wrote that song, right? So
yeah.
that's why we gotta have that heart, man. We gotta have that heart in the right
Come
condition
on,
because
man.
it could lead you astray. He
Come
was
on,
David.
man.
The scripture says
Ooh.
David was a man after God's own heart, God Himself. And David was a king. You know, I kind of mentioned that in that First Samuel passage, how all his brothers were big and handsome, and he come through. They call him Ruddy is what they call him, small statue. But he was tough. He was tough though, right? And
Right.
so God told Samuel, "This is the one. This is the one." So he was chosen by God, but
Mm,
still end up letting his heart lead him in the wrong direction, in the wrong path. So not only you gotta do that
mm,
you gotta
mm.
do that spiritual cardio, man, because if
You
not,
gotta do it.
heart will just lead you astray, right? And that goes back to what you
Yeah.
were saying earlier about trusting in the Lord with what? All your heart,
Your heart.
right? And lead
Lean
not to
not
what? Your own
your
understanding.
own
All your
understanding.
ways acknowledge
Woo.
Him, and He shall what? Direct your path. When that heart starts trusting in yourself, it's gonna
Woo.
lead you in the wrong way, right? Just
Come
like we
on,
saw
man.
David. But the great thing about it, though, man, is God forgives. He restores, He cleans us up, man. If we
Yes, he
ask for
does.
forgiveness, and He is faithful to clean us of all unrighteousness. 1 John chapter 9, man. Come on. Come on.
Mm.
1 John 1 and 9. Come on. I mean, 1 John chapter 1, verse 9. Excuse me on that one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know what you meant though. Come on, man. That's so good because our hearts, and I can't remember where, and maybe you could look it up for us, if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in Jeremiah where it talks about how our hearts are desperately wicked.
Yes.
Um,
Jeremiah 17:9. Yes, sir.
17:9. Okay, I
Yes,
knew
sir.
there was 17 in there. I couldn't remember where if it was 117 or 17 something, but yeah, our hearts are desperately wicked, man. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's speaking to your point about David being a man after God's own heart, but then having to ask God for a clean heart
That's right.
because his heart was desperately wicked.
That's right.
When you get caught up in your own stuff, and all of us is not
All of us.
all of us,
All
all of
of
our
us.
hearts are desperately wicked,
Mm-hmm.
because we live in a desperately wicked place that, if we're not careful, we will devote ourselves to, you know, and that's why we have to stay close to the sun so
Mm-hmm.
our hearts will not be so consumed. Um, it's man, yeah, it's amazing, bro, that just when you think about the heart and just the dedication of these professional athletes that they have to go through these things in order to get a desired outcome. And the crazy thing is they can't always control the outcome.
Right.
Some gonna win. There's only one winner. It's one grand winner, but you can get to certain levels and you can achieve certain things. So at the end of the day, there's going to be one Super Bowl champion. There's going to be one NBA Finals champion, one MLB in all sports. It can only be one. And these guys are working hard. So you got to have heart just to continue to go after it and go after it and go after it, knowing that you're going to take some L sometimes. And that's how we have to be, man. Like, though we might take an L in a battle, there are
Mm-hmm.
several, get this, y'all, there are several battles in a war. The war
Mm-hmm.
has already been determined. We already got the victory. That
Mm-hmm.
there are several battles within a war, this spiritual
Mm-hmm.
war that we're in. And
Right.
there are going to
Right.
be some wars some battles, you're going to take an L. But
It'll take a lot of L's.
you're gonna take a lot of them for real. But
Right.
but because of Jesus Christ, we have way more wins than we do losses. So,
Mm-hmm.
man, you just gotta have the heart to keep going and not giving up, man.
Man, just think about it this way, and I promise I'm gonna move on.
No,
Think
no,
about it
no,
this
no.
way:
We good. We cooking.
you
We cooking.
got so the NBA, you got 12 roster spots.
Yeah,
NFL, you got 53-man roster. Now you
yeah.
not counting the practice squad, which that's a whole nother situation. But and I don't know how many you got in baseball. So there's only so many. There's only so many spots, man. So you've got to put in the work. You got to get that heart, man. You got to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to build it, and a lot goes into it, like you said, man. But the key to it all is making sure your heart is right with Jesus Christ. That's the
Ooh,
key to it all.
that's
Because,
the
like you
key.
said, earlier, man, the battle's already been won. The victory is ours. You just got to accept the free gift of
Of
salvation.
free.
The free
Mm,
gift. Who don't like free?
mm,
Who don't like free? Come on.
Man, and you know what? You got me thinking too, bro. And I'll try to keep this brief.
Uh-huh.
But there was like a pivot moment, I would say, in my life, since we played the clip of the pivot at the beginning, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember having come off of being academically suspended from school and having to come home because I was at Morehouse, got academically suspended, flunked out of school, right? Came home and was just upset and just not in a good space after having to come back to Tennessee. And I flunked out again. I flunked out of MTSU, went to MTSU, flunked out of school again. Just wasn't even focused. When my mind wasn't right, man. And I remember, like really upset about it. I was crying to my brother, my older brother, and he was like, "All right, well, now that you got that out, what you gonna do now?"
Right.
And that was a moment in my life where it was just like a light bulb. It was like a pivot, bro. Because like you could take that and you could stay down in it, or you could be like, okay. And I'm not saying I got it all together at that moment, but that was a moment where I knew that I couldn't go back to, I couldn't keep doing that. So something had to change. And so that was a huge watershed pivot moment for me in my life. And so I related to Inky Johnson when he was like, what am I supposed to do? Get on the pallet, go back to the trap? Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Like, at that point, bro, it was like, you know what? I this ain't finna keep happening, bro. Like I gotta get myself together. I gotta get right. I gotta get closer to God. I gotta get my academics together, man. And I thank my brother for that, man. Like I love my brother to death because God used him to say the right thing to me at the moment. It's like, all right, well, you doing all this crime. What are you gonna do now? And it's like, all right, bet. All right, bet. I ain't doing this again. So you know what I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
that was dope, bro.
Yeah, and I had a serious injury, but nothing to the level of Inky Johnson. Nothing to the level, And I was I like to call it a typical athlete. People, NFL. Parents, they was all getting this press in the news and all this stuff, man, and these whatever. And these scouts coming to practice and the games and agents and all that stuff, man. But on the other side, I was suffering because I wasn't really focused on my schoolwork like I should have been. And so, what happens? Last game of my college career, ACL, boom, gone. So what now? What now? Because I can't go to the combine. I can't go to the. I had an invite to one of the All-Star games back then, and but I couldn't play. I was hurt, and so I finally, had the surgery, rehab, was coming back, was getting ready to try out, pulled a hamstring. Right. So it took a lot. It took a lot for me to learn that the Lord has something better for me in store. And he actually revealed that to me after a while, but it hurt. It hurt for a while because I was like, man, that's what that was the dream, right? That was everybody, I had this like, I take care of my parents and all that stuff. But God told me, he revealed to me, he said, I got something better for you. I got something better for you. And that I wasn't ready to be in that lifestyle. Because I probably would have went straight to hell. I probably went straight to hell. And
on, man.
Praise be to God, man, that he chose to pull me another direction. Now I can see it now. I didn't understand it at the time, but I can see it now. And I can, I can relate really easy to that dream that ever since young men, young women, they 4 or 5 years old, they start picking up those balls and playing sports. They have that dream to do something great as an athlete, and it's only if you can make it. But when the chips are down, when things happen, what's you gonna do? You gonna stay down, or you gonna keep grinding and get back up? So
come on, man.
That's a whole other episode, man. We can talk.
Man, we gotta do an episode on that, bro. Like, we gotta do an episode. We go through your journey, dog. That's amazing, man. It's so. And what was the beautiful thing about what you just communicated to us is that you said God has something better for me, and I thought that was so. I think that's so incredible, and I hope everybody can understand this because Ed just told you that God has something better for him than professional sports. And you think about like what could be better than professional sports, making millions of dollars, and and regardless of to how far God would have taken you, or you could have taken yourself rather, in that situation, right? You would have achieved a dream. But what you said was God has something better for me. And I
That's right.
would have lived a life that would have took me straight to hell. But
Mm-hmm.
God loves you enough to say, you know what, Ed, let me hit you with that real
I'm gonna
quick.
hit you
Let
with
me,
that.
uh,
Yeah, you keep trying to go. Let me pop that hamstring for you. Pa, let me do this.
yeah,
He gonna get it one day. He gonna get it one day. And I
right.
finally did. It took a minute, but I finally got it. So,
Man, come on, bro. Ooh, boy, look, you know what, man?
uh,
We could. I'm a chill because you got me excited. I'm a chill, man.
we can
I could,
we can do this
man. I feel
all
like
day, man.
preaching, but yeah,
Now, yeah,
no, that's good
and don't
stuff.
get me wrong. I would have loved it, and I'm not. It's not against the ones that made it. I have nothing
Right,
against them. That's great. That's awesome.
right,
I would have done it. I would have done it if I would have got the opportunity. But for
absolutely,
me, my life, for what
yeah.
he had in store for me, nah. People used to ask me, "Do you miss it? Do Could you? Did you miss the fact that you could have made millions?" No, because I'm already rich. I'm rich in
Come on,
Jesus.
sir.
So,
Woo!
so,
Come
so,
on, man.
yeah,
That's
man.
it, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's no. I love it. I love
Mm,
it. I love that, man. That's why God is doing, because your journey is your journey and your story is your story, bro.
That's right.
And
That's right.
God tailor made each and every one of our stories. He created them from the beginning. God was in the beginning when God created the heavens and the earth, and he then already sketched out, he then wrote the script to all of our stories,
All of it.
bro.
That's right.
All
Everybody
of
got a
our
script.
stories, bro. He then
Yeah.
wrote the script, and because God is omniscient,
Mm-hmm.
he knows what's best. And he loves
Already.
you so much that he won't even allow for you to ruin yourself.
He won't
He's like, you
allow.
might think you know what you want. Me wanting to be a rapper, me just wanting to accomplish my dreams and be some huge rapper. I wanted to be Drake. I wanted to be J. Cole. I wanted to be Kendrick Lamar. And them like that's what I wanted for my life. And
Right.
God
Right.
never allowed for me to even scratch the sniff it. I
Right.
wouldn't
Right.
even allow to sniff it because, like you said, maybe if I would have gone down that route, I probably would have lived a life that would have took me straight to hell. And
Mm-hmm.
God loved me enough to say, you know what? Nope,
Nope.
that's
I
my
got
son.
something better. I got something
I
better for
got
you.
something better for you.
I got something
I
for you
got
to
something
do,
better for
son.
you.
I got something
Come
for you to do,
on,
son.
man. Woo, come
I
on,
got
man.
something for you to
Let's
do.
go, bro.
I got something for you to do, man. Everybody has a purpose. You just don't.
Yeah.
I heard this in Sunday school the other day. Everybody's got a purpose, man. You just don't come here and eat and sleep and go to work every day. You got a purpose. You're here for a reason. You have a
Mm,
purpose. You have to
mm,
pray and seek the Lord, man, so He can lead you on what that purpose is. That's my prayer for everybody tonight, man. That you would pray and seek the Lord and see what your purpose is in
mm,
the life that He gives you, the time that He allows you to have on this earth. Man,
mm,
praise the
mm.
Lord, man. Rob Big
Praise the
man. Come on,
Lord,
man. The
bro.
heart, man. Come on. Come
Come
on.
on, dog. Woo, yeah, that was a good conversation. I love that one. I love
Yeah,
that.
man. That's cool. So, man, here we go, man. We gonna draft tonight. And I think this was probably gonna be one of the best ones, the favorite ones. So, what we got tonight,
Yeah,
man? What we
we got a good draft, y'all. We got a good draft. So tonight we are drafting a 5-on-5 basketball challenge, but we're drafting people from the Bible. So
with
Ed
with the
gonna have it.
caveat. With the caveat, we
The
can't take Christ.
caveat,
We can't take Christ because that's
we
easy.
can't take
'Cause he
Christ.
he
He
would
off the
dominate
table.
everybody. He would
He
dominate everybody.
dominant. He perfect. He ain't missing nothing.
He ain't missing
He
nothing.
more than Steph Curry with the shot, boy. Like that's Jesus. Like he ain't missing nothing. Come on,
Right,
man.
right, right,
So
right,
so yeah, we can't pick Jesus, but we got to roll with everybody else is on the table. No Jesus. Everybody else on the table. So
right.
I feel like I got the first pick this week.
Yes. Yep, you do. You do. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So we've been talking about them. We've been talking about them. So
Can
my
you see the
first pick.
comments? Can you see the comments that's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So my first pick, I'm gonna put him at PG too,
Oh.
because he's a general.
Uh,
My point guard, David. I
okay.
got David running my point guard because he is a general. You know, he after God's own heart.
All
He
right.
slayed his tens of thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like he was out there, he fighting with the what was he fighting? The bears and the wolves and everything. Like, hey, you gotta have a dog. You gotta have a dog out there. So yeah, I'm rolling with David is my point guard.
Okay.
David, my point guard.
All right, cool. Bet. So this one I'm rolling. For my PG, I'm gonna go with Moses because he had to lead
Ooh,
the people, right? He had to have a direction,
oh,
right? He had to lead the people, so
yeah,
he knew what needed to be done, right? And he
yeah,
knew the instruction that God gave him to lead the people. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
best
yeah,
point
yeah.
guard ever, Moses.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. So that's a good one. That's a good one. Let me make sure. So you picked Moses. All right. So I'll make sure I don't pick the same one. All right. So for my shooting guard,
Mhm.
I'm gonna run with Paul, formerly
Paul.
Saul of Tarsus, but he became Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me get Paul, man. And I'm gonna pick Paul because he went on all these missionary journeys. He planted all these churches, so he's out there. He can score. He can score the rock, right?
Right.
Because he got the plant. He planted these churches. He can make sure he can get stuff done. I'm going with Paul. Paul's my shooting guard.
Here go my shooting guard, man. I gotta stay in the line because he was trained. He trained up under Moses, right? He was the next in line.
Ah, I know where
I'm
you're
gonna go with
going.
Joshua. Joshua won
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
a
of
good one.
battles, right? He won a lot
That's
of
a
battles,
good one.
trained by the best point guard to play the game.
That's a
That's
good
my,
one.
my two guard, Joshua, because he can also play the point.
He
So
can. He
yeah.
really can. That's a good one. Okay. I'm gonna jump ahead because I don't want you to pick this person.
Yep. Go ahead, take it.
I'm gonna put him in my power forward.
Okay.
I gotta go with Peter. I gotta go with
Okay.
Peter
Okay.
because because Christ told him. He said, "On this rock, I'm gonna build my
That's
church."
right. That's right.
Simon
That's right.
Peter, baby. And he a little, he get a little zealous, but we could temper that zealous. We could temper that, you know what I mean? So we gonna have him at the power forward because he got power. You know, feel what I'm saying? Like he as an apostle of Christ, he was able to do those things that the Holy Spirit allowed. He out here healing and teaching and all that stuff. He helped usher in the Holy Spirit through Pentecost. Yeah, I'm rolling with Peter for my power forward.
Okay. Since you said strength and you said power, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go my power forward. I'm gonna take Samson. As long as you don't touch it,
Oh, that's a
don't touch his
good
hair.
one.
Don't touch his hair. Don't touch his hair.
That's a good one.
Moses at power forward. I put him at the four, man. I mean, I'm sorry, Samson. Samson at the power forward, man. He's my four.
That's a good one. That's
My
a
four.
good one.
He's my
Samson.
four.
That's a great pick. That's a
Mhm.
great pick. Okay. All right. So, this is gonna be a tough one. This is a tough one. So mm, you know what? I'm gonna do this because it's only right. So with
Mhm.
my small forward, I'm gonna go with Father Abraham.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Abraham at small forward because you know what? No, I'm gonna put him at the center because without Abraham, got to be the center
Wow.
because he
Okay.
started the generations, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
one of the first. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
we bringing
Okay.
we bringing Abraham at the center.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you
Hmm.
kinda threw me off on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. All right. I was gonna go with the obvious for center, but I'm not. I'm gonna go this way. I was gonna take Goliath because he's a giant, but no. I'm gonna match you wit for wit because Abraham had some wisdom. He was righteous. I'm
Right.
gonna go with Solomon. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
Solomon as my
Okay.
center. A
Okay.
lot of wisdom.
Okay.
He'll know how to clean the glass. He'll know how to box
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. All right. Mm. So for my last one,
Mhm.
my small forward, I think. Let's see how many I got. I got
You
two
got
New
it. You got
Testament. I got two Old Testament. All
it.
right,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Daniel, bro. I'm gonna go
That's
with
a good one.
Daniel.
That's a good
I'm
one.
gonna go with Daniel.
That's a
He
good
he
one.
was in the lion's den.
Lions
and
Den.
didn't get touched. You feel what
Right.
I'm saying? Like God protected him in the lion's den.
Fiery furnace.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Key. Yeah, Key said where the women at. Yeah, you right. You right.
You
We're
right.
gonna have to
You right.
we
I'm on.
we're gonna have to do a WNBA version of this too.
right. She's right.
We
She's
got
right.
you, Key. That's a good observation.
Apologize
We
for that
got you.
over. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I get the last pick, huh?
You get the
Man,
last pick.
I'm trying to think. Well, let's see. If I had to choose, if I had to go New Testament, which I probably will since I've gone all Old Testament, I'm gonna take John. I'm gonna
Okay.
take John, the writer of Revelations.
Yeah.
That John, because he was able to go up and be taken up and seen some things, and so he just had some experience that you can't really explain, and so
Yeah.
he's been in some supernatural positions. So I would think he'd be able
Yeah.
to handle anything coming at him. So
Okay. And and John had some speed on him because remember what John outran Peter to
that's
the
right. You're
tomb.
right. You're
So that's a
right.
good
He
pick.
sure did.
Good
He
pick. He
sure
got some
did.
speed on him.
Sure
He
did.
get to the hole. He get to the hole quick. He get to the
Yeah.
hole quick.
You get to the whole quick, man. Quick, man. Man, again, thank y'all for joining us for the show tonight, man. The Casuals. Look, if you hadn't signed up yet, if you hadn't subscribe to the channel, please do so. You don't want to miss the episode, man. Subscribe, turn on the notifications on the YouTube channel. And also, you can hear us on Spotify, man. The Casuals. And come on and check us out. Yeah, we saw it. We forgot about the women, Esther,
Yeah, we
Ruth.
did. We did.
Got,
Sorry.
yeah, Aquila. We got some in there, man. We
We
could
got
talk to.
some in there. Roof, you feel what
Come
I'm
back,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. We
Come
gonna have to run it back. We might do a 3-on-3 for the women or something.
right. 303. 303. But man, Rob Vic, man, appreciate good show tonight, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate y'all with the comments and the questions, man. Check us out, man. We'll be back next time for another episode of The Casuals. We out of here.
What you want, but this